chosen ones, empaths, and all the genuine souls. Obviously, we all lose things in life, right? We lose things. It's a common occurrence. You misplace something, stuff like that. And that's why this particular strategy by the narcissist goes unnoticed, because slowly but surely, when you're around them, they will put things in other places. This is a form of gaslighting that they do to you, right? I don't want you to think every time you lost something that it's a narcissist, but just hear me out. Narcissists do this. I've heard of them doing this. They do this, right? They misplace things. And also, they can pretend to lose things as well, okay? They can pretend that they've lost something to make you start looking, all right? It's very weird, all right? But you need to watch out for this. And I reckon some of you, at least some of you out there, would have gone through this. And I'd love for you to put it in the comment section so I can know a bit about your experience, if you feel free to share, like that is, right? But this is what they do. They do really do this, all right? They deliberately sabotage your structure. So you could be rushing for work. You're looking for your keys, okay, for your car or the house keys or whatnot. And they're deliberately misplacing them or just taking them straight out the picture. Now, this is another layer to it. Narcissists will actually take certain trinkets from you, okay? Certain belongings that are just gone for good. You never find them again. But they take these trinkets, and they're the type of narcissist that actually kind of worship these things. I know this is going a bit deep, but they actually worship these belongings, all right? This is what they can do, all right? They're like more or less like a shrine or something. I always bring up this reference, but it's very true. If you remember Hey Arnold, for those of you that grew up around I did, you'll remember Hey Arnold, and you'll remember Helga. And Helga was always horrible to Arnold, was always horrible, but at home she had a shrine of all of his stuff, like a football, a jersey, and I can't remember exactly, but I just remember this thing she constructed. And obviously that's to an extreme, but it's a cartoon, but there's a lot of truth within it. So a lot of your things narcissists actually hold to, all right? I've heard of them taking things from other people, from sessions. They'll take things, they'll hold things, they'll hide things, and it's very common. It's very, very common. So you need to watch out for this. You really need to watch out for this. And yeah, because this can affect you in your day-to-day life, okay? It's very nasty. It's a form of gaslighting that they're doing to you over long periods of time. They actually say things to you as well, like, you don't remember that? You don't remember that? I didn't say that. I didn't say that. So they also like misplace words and lose things, right? So this is a strategy of theirs that has many layers of the whole losing concept, right? So they'll say, I didn't say these words, or I didn't say that. But it's the same thing as when they're hiding your belongings. They've got no moral decency to just be real with anything, all right? And this is why loads of you don't need to feel insecure about these creatures or about yourself in regards to these creatures, because they can't be open and just be straightforward. I'm not saying you're the most truthful person in the world, but chosen ones, empaths, and genuine souls most likely are very real, okay? I'm not saying you haven't been in a situation where you've had to lie, like going to work or something like this, you're late or whatever. I can understand. But honestly, a lot of you are very upfront and very, forward speaking. Even if you're more introverted, you have dialogue. And this is something that the narcissist struggles with. They often give off this illusion that they can have a very in-depth conversation and good dialogue, but they don't actually have that. So when you understand that as a whole, you don't need to feel less about yourself for any particular reason if these people can't even carry a conversation. All right, they can't even carry a conversation and say I'm wrong. All right, they can't just say that they're wrong. They'll lie, they'll cover it up, and this is them losing the truth. You see how it ties back to the losing concept, right? They're losing the truth, they're hiding the truth, they're misplacing the truth. They cover it with smear campaigns and all this stuff, right? So I know this is going a bit, you know, from the actual material things that they misplace, but this is still the same concept. This is what they do. This is what narcissists do, right? They will do this all the time. So you really need to think about this. You really do need to think about this, because they actually plan it as well. You know, they plan these strategic moves. Oh, I'm gonna, you know, you've just come in from work, or this can happen at work. People will do this to you at work. You see, people will do this to you at work, but you could be coming home from work or at work or whatever, and people are doing things to F up your day, to confuse you, to gaslight you, right? It's not nice. It's not nice. So they might even do something like, say you returned the belonging to someone, a friend or something like that. You returned the belonging, or you said this, they might deny that you ever done it. And they can basically, narcissistic abuse can lead to severe mental health issues, right? It can lead to severe mental health issues from narcissistic abuse, as far as going into full-blown psychosis. And I know there can be other aspects of it, but this is what can happen from narcissistic abuse, all right? They can make you lose touch with reality from the gaslighting, and you can fall into, what's that thing called? PTSD, you know, and things like that, anxiety. A lot of mental health conditions can emerge. Now, there may have been underlying tendencies from other aspects of why it was triggered too. That's no doubt. But this mental health can affect you, and it can be like a dark cloud in someone's life. All right. But I don't want you to think, the thing about this is when you're speaking to a certified clinician or whatever they're called, right? I don't know what they're called, right? Therapist or whatever. You're speaking to a certified one. Obviously, a lot of the therapists you speak to have narcissistic abuse experience. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the mental health side. So in America, it'll be psych wards. In England, it'll be mental institutions. A lot of these people may not have had experience with narcissistic abuse. Maybe some of them have, but a lot of them wouldn't have. All right, so they will base certain diagnoses and labels upon you. I'm not saying you don't have these conditions or are not showing symptoms of these conditions. No, I'm not saying that. But this is their diagnosis of you, all right, from the books and all of that stuff. When really, they're not understanding how deep maybe a major factor was to why you are going through some type of mental illness or something like that, all right? But collective gaslight, they do collective gaslighting as well, where they get a group of people to say, no, you didn't do that. No, you didn't do that. And then they'll confuse the hell out of you. All right. So this can happen just from you losing things over a long period of time. Remember, I've spoken to people that have been in decade-long relationships where this has been gradual over long periods of time, this abuse. Right. And obviously it can push people the amount of people that have had suicidal ideations, all right, from narcissistic abuse is unreal that I've spoke to, right? That's what can happen to individuals, right? It's not that they're weak. Having something like a mental illness is not weak, but it's a call for your system, and it's a call for your brain, and it's a cry for help, saying you need some help, like, not help, like you need something to be healed, you know? It's like, and it's from these experiences you often do go into more serious states of healing. And that can be where you're at now. All right. So never let someone else's way of life be a reflection of yours and you feeling adequate or anything like that. Okay. Because that's something that can eat away at you a lot of the times. These sorts of things, what other people are doing, The chosen one, empath and genuine, so you need to focus on yourself. All right. It comes in weird kind of ways that the chosen one, empath and genuine soul starts to constantly be preoccupied with other people, like in the sense of what they're doing. All right. Like you always focus on your own lane, but you want to help people, or you want to do this, or you want to do that. I said it wrong, but you want to help people. You want to support people. And it's like when you're going through some kind of mental health, things like that, it's like it's a call for you to focus on yourself. All right. It's a big, huge call and a sign from God and the universe to show you focus on yourself. Honestly, you can really change your whole entire life around, okay, from these narcissistic abusive experiences that you've had. Many of you have had several narcissistic abusive experiences. You can actually strive stronger from this, all right? So you really can. You really can. To where someone can misplace something and rattle you and make you get upset and make you get, lose your mind, the repercussions of that is you can have severe anxiety. You can accuse people. You can make bad decisions. So you might go through. So I think that mental health is a spiritual awakening. You see, a lot of mental health situations is a spiritual awakening as well in some cases. All right. You can be in the depths of despair, okay, suicidal, like this, and you have the dark night of the soul, all right, and you go through some spiritual awakening and you start saying, no, these people are evil. You start piecing together everything. You say, no, this person was doing that. This person was doing that. And you might make some assumptions that are off, but you'll pick up on some telltale truths within your spiritual awakening as well, to do with the particular narcissist. But you might start seeing other people as the enemy when they're not the enemy, right? That can be a possibility as well. Okay, that can happen. So you need to be careful. Remember, you're in a fresh surge of discernment, right? And it's about cultivating it rightly so. So just watch out for these. I want you to look back at your situation. Many of these narcissists would have misplaced something. They would have put something out of your sight. Right, they would have done these things frequently. All right, hid the keys, hid this, hid something at work, said you didn't lose something. Right, it's the concept of the losing, where the narcissist is constantly losing things and hiding things and bending truth and manipulating all these ways, right, and gaslighting. Okay, so this is what they do, and you're out of it. That's the main thing. All right, I need to know if you're still struggling. I have many videos, but if you're still struggling with missing them and stuff like that, there's many videos. Some of these videos I'm coming with now might be a bit deep, but I've got a lot of videos that will cover a lot of topics, so check them out. And thank you so much for listening today. I really appreciate the support. Please book a session if you'd like to. I'm available 24 hours. If you would like to donate or support to the channel, you can. Check out Zion Music. Okay, I've launched the EP and I've got an upcoming single from the future project as well. Okay, so Ascension is out and Beneath the Veil is coming soon. I'd love it if you could check it out and tell me what you think. So anyway, I'll be back on another video soon. Peace.